Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
All right. We back at it on Monday. What's up, everybody? What's going on? I'm getting things set up. I'm running extremely late, but we know how that go. We know that happens. That's almost par for the, well, I won't say par for the cause, but it happens enough to where it's noticeable. Happens enough to where it's noticeable. I gotta try to get that together. Gotta try to work on that. I'd like to welcome everybody and thank everybody for coming on in here today. I appreciate that. Still getting junk set up. Got all kind of junk on my table in the way. Still moving stuff around. I know y'all can hear that. Let me turn off this Bluetooth speaker before it start making some noise on me when the phone ring. But what's up and what's going on? I'd like to welcome everybody in here. Shout out to those who made it in bright and early. I see my man Excalibur in the building, Spacely Man, Ephraim McKenzie, Scott Haywood, Fatal Dose to Sage. I should be clicking on y'all names. I'm not see my first unforced error. You see how that's going. Ephraim McKenzie, Scott Haywood, Fatal Dose. What's up and salute to Fatal Dose, Cosmic Melodies, Jedi Mac, Brian Tobert, aka Mr. Bowtie in the building. Hopefully we can get some women on the panel. Great topic as always. I haven't had any women on the panel in a while. They've never been banned or excluded or disinvited from the panels. For some reason they quit coming on up. But I never formally said no, they couldn't come. But it's cool. It's cool, no biggie, no big deal. I think the last time we had a woman on the panel, that was when Faith came up. Me, Obsidian, Kevin Samuels, and Game Changer was on there, and it didn't end very well for her. I know she hasn't came back ever since because it was like, water got poured on the Wicked Witch of the West, and it was bad for her. I'm melting. Like that's kind of how it was when she came up. That was the last time a woman came on the panel. Last time a woman came on the panel, she definitely got the business. Definitely got the business, and no woman has came back since. I don't know if it's directly correlated to that. In Faith, after that, I don't know if it was directly correlated, but she went and got StreamYards and started going live and doing her own panels after that. Which is understandable. If you go in places and shit's going awry, hey, start your own shit. We say that all the time. So in my own way, I kind of respected her for doing it. That's technically how it's supposed to go. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you ought to do. You start your own. Well, she already had a channel, but she got StreamYards and started doing her own panel. So I did respect that. But yeah, she ain't been back since, and no woman has been back up since then. SW1. What's up? I still remember when I had to explain to you that SW1 was Shawn Wayne's name when he was a DJ on In Living Color. You didn't know that information, but you rocking his name, SW1. That was before he started acting on screen on In Living Color. He was a DJ. A lot of people don't know that. Sister George in the building. What's going on? Watch Gamer Channel. New is in the building. What's up and salute to New. What's up and salute to you. All right, I think we've covered the early bird squad, as I call it. I see some more people still coming in. Chief BD of Watch Gamer Channel. I see you. Black Torch in the building. You ain't been trolling that hard lately. I always love when you come up, even though I end up disagreeing with you on some of your not necessarily the facts that you lay out when you start talking about history, because I agree with some of the history. I never quite like when you use it all as the reasons why things are going awry today and connect it to something that's going wrong today. aka Negro splaining, aka just citing a bunch of historical fun facts. That's what a lot of the pro blackity blacks do. But Black Torch, definitely loved your commentary. I got your email. I'll probably reach out to you. Pretty soon for some things. Because I love every time you come on the show. Good conversations are normally had whenever you come on. Don Calypso says, Buenos dias, amigos. Help me work on my my Spanish, I hope that is. Viva la revolucion. Help me work on my Spanish. Shout out to Don Calypso. But yeah, it's a few things we're touching on. Few things that we're touching on here. For the record, and I will do I will respond or touch on. I mean, I know a lot of you, maybe not. Well, most of you, given the numbers, that most of you saw Angry Man's live last night. Black Wolf Inc. in the building. What's going on? Most of y'all saw Angry Man's live last night. I'll be touching on that too as you know, as more people file in here. But going to the main topic before we get into that. What is the main topic? What does basic cooperation look like? The reason I said basic cooperation, thanks for that super chat, Black Wolf Inc. Thanks for that super chat. I appreciate that. And you've been making the rounds, man. You be supporting everybody in this space, and just want to formally let you know we appreciate that, man. You be supporting everybody in this space. And he sent me. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it a little later. So I ain't even going to get into that right now, and let some more people file in. But cut to the chase. Say, yeah, Angry Man was on fire last night. That's true. Angry Man stay on fire. Angry Man stay on fire. Body Thug says, I don't watch Angry Man. Well, you're doing yourself a disservice. You should check him out. You definitely should check out the Angry Man. You're doing yourself a disservice. But hit that like button on the way in. You see the Cash app right there. You see where it says hit the like button. Don't be afraid of it. Go ahead and hit it. Hit that like button, good people. Hit that like button. But this topic, what does basic cooperation look like? It stems from a BGS video, and I don't know if what he was playing was a clip from the breakdown, a woman's perspective. I don't know where the clip came from. It was a woman on the panel with him. They were talking, and this topic is also inspired by a stream O'Shea did, where I saw maybe 5-10 minutes of that, where they were talking about protection of Black women. Then they got all off on a few other subjects. What's up, Deadly River? They got all off on a few other subjects. Jetro Mullet, see you in the building. They got off on a few other subjects, and they were talking about the whole submission thing and this or that. And I don't want to get far upfield on that, because I already gave my take on that. A woman is either submissive or she's not. It's not a matter of whether or not the guy is paying all the bills and riding a unicycle while juggling in a top hat, while whistling Kumbaya. No, that's not. She either is or she isn't. I've explained that a few times. Not about to get too deep into that. That woman who's with an abusive, lying, cheating man, but she's still going to work and paying bills and coming home and cooking and cleaning and doing all this stuff with the kids. And she's doing all that. It's not because that man did something to earn that submission. It's because she's naturally submissive. She's naturally a submissive woman. If she's with a man, she's going to be submissive until she's not with that man. It's just her nature. That's how some women are, and that's how some women are not. That's where I'm at with that. But anyway, they got far upfield on that show, and this was on O'Shea's show, and I'm gonna circle back to what BGS was talking about today. They were talking about other men building institutions and networking and doing this and doing that, and that's why women submit. And somebody was talking about the frat and the fraternity or the Masons, those guys, build institutions, they network, they do this. And then the argument was, well, they're not the ones complaining about women. But then the argument turned into they're not the ones complaining about being chose, but the conversation was about cooperation and all of this and cooperation and submission. And it was just all over the place. And it was basically it turned into the grandiose build a spaceship, but it has to have time travel as well. Shout out to Keith Lamont. It turned into one of those arguments. It turned into one of those situations where it amounted to it amounted to what Keith Lamont called nigga dancing. But if we're talking about what the overall collective of black men need to do to overall better black men, to overall better black people, yes, there's a lot of work to get done. Yes, absolutely, positively, 100%. And building vertical businesses, networking, creating institutions that do this or do that or take care of this or take care of that. All of that stuff is very important. Very, very important. But it just gets lost on me why that enters the conversation as to why in an interpersonal relationship, a woman is not being cooperative. That's one thing that I'm going to bang the drum on. As long as I'm making content on YouTube, an individual man should be judged by that woman on his individual merit, not whether or not the elite of his race have built enough institutions or not. Like, I don't know how we get far upfield with these arguments. I will never, ever understand that. Panther God said, angry man selling young black men to Strag so they can be fit. What the fuck? Time him out. Time him out. What the hell? I don't even got the YouTube screen up. I can't time nobody out right now. But give him a break. Give him a break. Let me pull the YouTube stream up. All right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Kill Deuce with a super chat. Thank you very much. Simple. Other groups of women submit because their counterparts will crack their heads. You know what? I think that's true. You know, in the Middle East, it may be true in in Africa. It may be true in places. If you're in a country where and I don't know for sure if it's like this. I've heard that it's like this. I don't know for sure if it's like this, but I've heard that it is the case that if a wife gets out of line, and let's just say either African or Middle Eastern countries or whatever, it's not uncommon that the man may very well go upside her head. And that if authorities, in the event that the authorities are contacted, they're going to show up and see a woman whose head has been going upside. And they're probably just going to ask, okay, what did you do? That's what I've heard people say. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know for a fact if that's true. And this goes back to the discussion we had with Hammer on the panel where he was talking about going to get his Cameroonian princess when he finishes school or whatever and going back home and living over there and being in some arranged marriage or whatever with some, virgin. He was going to show up with a dowry and buy a virgin. Different cultures do different shit. So I was just like, hey, your culture, do your thing. But it was argued that he was still going to get put through the ringer by this chick. And I was just like, how? Okay, she get out of pocket. He put her out the house. Is she gonna go crawling back to her mom and dad, or mom and dad gonna put foot to her ass and say, "Go back to your husband," and she gonna show up on foot? She gonna show up barefoot and hungry and crawling on her knees to. Sorry for that background. She gonna show up barefoot and hungry, crawling on her knees, trying to get back into his house. Like that's how the culture is set up in a lot of other places. So it's these type of these are Western, these are first world problems we be having over here. These are Western problems. I don't know for a fact if it's like that. I don't know if it's exactly like that. Somebody said, where is that? I'm trying to find it. He said no such thing as no, that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. Hold on, somebody. Shit, I can't find it. I can't find it because it's right next to the comment that I highlighted. That's why I couldn't find it. He said domestic discipline is wonderful. Yeah, shout out to that angry man standard. That a lot of people couldn't get past that part of it. But yeah. All right, now I'm all caught up in the chat. I need to stay out of the chat because y'all will throw me off. I will go down a rabbit hole in the chat and be all off my square and all off what I was trying to do because y'all be on some bullshit. He says, men who hit women, you can't pay to hit a man. I've heard that's true. I don't know if that's true because I don't hit women, but I've heard that the guys who hit women, when they get into some shit with a man, they immediately reach for a gun. That's what I've heard. That's what's out there. I don't know how true that is, but that's what's out there. Hitting a woman is something I can't bring myself to do. And I was provoked a great many times. It's something I just I get out of there and get to the chopper. I do. That's just where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. I've been swung on by a woman. A wild swing and a miss. Because sometimes women, boy, they punches. They just be some weird punches. Some old unorthodox, uncalculated form wasn't right. Just like, where the hell did that? What the fuck kind of punch was that? She just threw a damn overhanded uppercut. What the fuck was that? Like, they swing on you though. It's like, man, what the fuck was that? But I can't do it, man. I get out of there. Get to the chopper. No, man. I get the hell out of there. I get the hell out of there, and I can't do it. I can't do it. That one of the criticisms of me, one of the best things about me, and one of the worst things about me at the same time is that I can be too calm. And a lot of people, and I've been called level-headed by a lot of people on here, and that carries out in my normal life. That I can, in the face of extreme shit, I can stay level-headed and calm and think. Some people can't think. Some people, once the shit go there, they all the way there with it, and they're gonna out crazy the crazy. I don't got that in me to where, like, if I can assess the situation and my life ain't literally on the line, nobody's gonna make me rage out like that. That's why I got that ability to get out of there. But some dudes don't got that. A chick start wilding out at them, coming with them unorthodox, untechnically skilled, brawling, right-handed southpaw punches that the women try to throw. Is They experience that shit and then they snap right with her, and it's like, no, I don't got that snap in me. I can avoid the snap. Like I was saying, one of the best things about me and one of the worst things about me is that I can it's great that I can stay calm in a situation where shit is going down. I can stay calm and think clear and think rationally. But that's also one of the worst things, because there are times when it's time to snap and you need to snap. So there's been times in my life where, looking back at it, I probably should have wowed the fuck out and flipped every table over in that motherfucker and showed my ass. But I didn't do it. And looking back at it, there's times when if I would have, there was problems that I had that persisted, that just, would just persist and just go on for too long because I didn't snap the fuck out. Because when you snap the fuck out on people, they know what time it is. They know exactly where you stand. It ain't nothing to think about, ain't nothing to talk about, ain't nothing to negotiate any further. So that's why I say it's one of the worst things too, because you can end up, overthinking in a situation where you need to just hop on somebody or just getting somebody ass about some shit, So it's a good thing that I'm level-headed, but it backfires in certain situations. But that's another story. That's another topic. That's a good topic black men need to talk about. Because some black men be going from 0 to 100 or just be on 10 all day. And then there's some of us that be just too calm, I don't know if we have that perfect balance. A lot of us don't. That perfect middle balance where you can turn it on when it need to be turned on and turn it off when it need to be turned off. That's a good discussion. That's a good discussion. But Mr. McMillan says, I fight women physically. I fight women physically and I fight men verbally. He did put some laughing faces with that. I'm just kidding. Okay, good. I didn't read ahead. I'm just kidding. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Well, good for you. Good for you. I was about to be like, uh-oh. Don't be coming on here confessing. Don't be coming on here confessing your sins like that, man. Jake LaMotta and many other pro boxing champs have went upside many women's head. Yeah, I feel bad for women that be with them damn professional boxers who be abusive. I feel bad for that. He hitting her with well-calculated punches. Well-calculated punches. I mean, that shit is horrible. You probably know how to hit her right in the damn side, the ribs. I know it ain't gonna leave a mark, but it's gonna hurt like a motherfucker for like 2 days. Like them. I feel bad for the women get with a damn boxer who happens to be abusive. Black Wolf Inc. says, Shazam, bitches, Shazam. Thank you, Black Wolf Inc. Counselor Murray in the building. What's going on, Counselor Murray? Justin March. What's going on? Thank y'all for these super chats. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who support the show and come through. We got up to 224 people watching. Yeah, hit the like button, and right on cue when I say that. Melody in the building, dropping the stream info. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. What the fuck was I talking about? I was talking about in a conversation over basic cooperation, it turns into what institutions have we built conversation. It's disheartening when I hear that, because it just reeks of black men buying into some of the worst female arguments. I don't like that. And what we're really talking about is really basic cooperation. That's really what's being discussed in a lot of these conversations. The 2-1-2 combo. Oh, come on. The 2-1-2 combo to the jaw. Come on, man. I don't need to know about your combinations. Oh, that is horrible. Azrael 6394 says some women deliberately want to bring out the worst in you instead of the best. They try to provoke you to anger. It's best to just walk away. Amen. Amen. Let the church say amen on that one. Let the church say amen on that one. Just walk away. Walk away, walk away. All right, all right. I'm about to double back and check on these likes. We got 227 people watching, 84 likes. We need to get these likes up some more. Need to get these likes up some more. But what we all, I can't stress it enough that all that's being discussed. See, y'all keep throwing me off. I ran away a few times. Man, been there. You just got to get out of there. If you stay, bad things will happen. You just got to turn around and get the fuck out of there. Yeah, keep throwing me off. Man, appreciate all the support, everybody coming through right now. I'm going to open it up pretty soon in a minute. Shout out to you, Bernard. Like you, I never hit women. However, the part about being calm all the time is very difficult. How did you train for that? I didn't. Just natural. Just in my nature. My mom thought something was wrong with me. She wanted to see me flip out. Because she just felt like, you know how it's like a weird thing. You know how people who don't have proper emotional balance, they could be either raging out too emotional or they can just be just looking cold and dead inside. You know, it was situations happening in my life, in my marriage and everything with my kids where my mom, we was talking and she was just like, you just don't seem like you mad enough. And then she started thinking about how when I was a kid, how I just didn't get mad that much. And I'm like, no, Ma, I just don't get mad that much. I just, I'm a happy person. I can't help it, but she thought something was wrong with me. But no, it's not nothing that I trained myself to do. It's just naturally how I am. You have to, however you are, you have to go out your way to try to make yourself, if you're too amped up, you have to coach yourself into calming down. If you're naturally just too laid back, sometimes you have to coach yourself into getting amped up when you need to get amped up. That's just how it is. That's just how it works. I never, it's my default. And that goes back to what I was saying about the cooperation thing. With a lot of women, it's your default. It's your default. A lot of them, their default is just to not be very, very cooperative. And they have to coach themselves into doing it. But instead of doing that, we see a lot of streams and a lot of conversations where they're talking about what the collective of what Black men have built, as if our top 1%ers, as if they built more institutions and foundations and more infrastructure and vertical businesses. If our top 3%ers did more of that, the top, the 50 to 60 percentile guy that you can get with, he would still have the same job. You would still have to make a relationship work with him. So if you're being combative and non-cooperative to him, it doesn't matter what the elite among us, what our talented 10th are building. You're with a regular dude. You need to be regular happy. I said this before, and I'm so glad Kevin Samuels has been driving this point home. Hopefully he's inceptioning those women that call into his show with this. Hopefully they're getting inceptioned. Thanks, Melody. I appreciate that. Hopefully they're getting inceptioned with this concept that you're an average woman. You're going to end up with an average man who makes average money, who lives in an average house. Can you walk your average ass in his average house and make him an average sandwich and shut the fuck up and be happy? Like that is just a simple concept. But we got to talk about institutions and whether or not we build in spaceships with time travel in order for Black women to cooperate, but in an interpersonal relationship. Nobody's asking you to submit to the universal collective monolith of Black men. It's like, it's just a weird thing that goes on in these conversations. A very weird thing that goes on in these conversations. My man, Black Wolf Inc. And I guess it's about time. We got close to 250 people in here. I'm hoping to get 300 people in here before I talked about this. But Black Wolf Inc. says, let's keep putting it on the wood. Shout out to Black Wolf Inc. Always supporting everybody. He says, go in, Riley, apply pressure. Thanks. So, provider. Man, appreciate everybody, man. Y'all show a lot of love. I get humbled every time I see it. But no, Angry Man did a stream last night. Well, first, let me get a backstory. Shout out to Black Wolf Inc. again, because a lot of people don't know Black Wolf Inc. was the person who sent me some money. He sent me some money, a Cash App, about the MGTOW show. He said for me to do a show on what impact has MGTOW had. I didn't feel I was qualified to just talk about that, so I did a de facto poll to see, who, nominate somebody. And a lot of names were thrown out there. One of the common names that I saw in there was BGS. And plus BGS had already, hopped on the panel before. So I had a little bit of rapport with him. So I reached out to BGS and we made it happen. So shout out to Black Wolf Inc. He's the reason for that BGS stream that I was at like 670 live listeners. That's not my highest total views, but far as live views at one time, that is my highest. So shout out to BGS for that, and shout out to Black Wolf Inc. for making that happen, for inspiring that. And Black Wolf Inc. hit me up again, Mr. in the building. He says, one day, Bernard, all you can. And he got the forward down angle. Oh man, y'all stupid. I was sitting there looking at them arrows, like, what is those arrows for? Oh man, y'all some damn fools, man. Y'all some goddamn fools. But Black Wolf Inc. hit me up again. Sent me going to even go ahead and say the amount. Sent me a $50 Cash App, and I believe he sent Angry Man the same $50 Cash App, wanting me to do a one-on-one with Angry Man about the red pill mindset, because it's been a little bit of conversation about that lately. And just like who was more qualified than BGS to speak on the MGTOW thing, who more qualified than Angry Man to speak on that? Now, I knew at the moment that Black Wolf sent me that Cash App, I knew that it was potentially, I didn't say problems, but I knew the last time that I had spoke to Angry Man is when he was on the show, and him and Obsidian had their thing going on, and their beef going. Well, I don't even know if to say it was a beef at the moment, but they had the situation. I mean, those y'all saw it. Y'all know what happened. All right. So that shit was going down. That was the last time I spoke to Angry Man. So I didn't 100% know where me and Angry Man stood. He ain't never disrespected me, and even in that stream he did last night, he wasn't disrespecting me in that stream. He actually said very nice, very flattering things about me. So me and Angry Man, have always been cool. He's always showed me, he gave more or less a tip of the hat to me, acknowledge me and essentially, the work that I was putting in. He just out the blue, one day sent me a Cash App. This was I'm going back now. He sent me a Cash App. This was I did a show and he had came on the show, and he had did some content based off what happened on the show, and he had sent me a Cash App and was like, hey, thanks for holding it down, because a lot of people be saying Angry Man be coming for new content creators, but no, I think he shows a lot of love and a lot of support to a lot of the new content creators. And he had sent me a Cash App saying, a $20 cash app saying, hey, thanks for holding it down. I sent it back to him and was like, because this was around the time that Angry Man had just found out. Well, as far as I know, he had just found out officially who I was. We didn't really know each other that well, so it was a very respectful. It was a nod. Like, I was like, wow, But I sent it back to him like, hey, man, your respect is your respect is enough. I won't even take your money. I sent him the money back, and I think I donated to him later on because I just appreciated that people who've been putting in a lot of work in this space was seeing what I was doing because my channel was still kind of young. So I sent him it back. So I sent him the money back like, hey, your respect is priceless. Something like that. Some G shit like that. I appreciated I appreciated the respect, just to put it simply like that. So I've always had respect for Angry Man. Anybody who's really put in that work, or just the overall way that Angry Man do his thing. Black Wolf, thanks for another cash app, man. You coming through, man. You're making it rain up in here. All right. Black Wolf just sent the cash app. I appreciate that. But yeah, so that's just going back from the beginning. Always had, nothing but respect for Angry Man. So, I was a little disappointed when a little disappointed at how things was shaping out and going down, on my show or whatever. And y'all saw what happened. Y'all saw what happened. I don't need to flush out too much of what happened. It was some disagreements. It was some controversy. It was on a show probably 2 weeks ago, Angry Man and ARC went ham on Obsidian for like an hour. I sat back like, hey, it ain't my fight. I let it ride. I did feel like I shouldn't have let them go ham on him for like an hour and a half, but I sat back and let it ride on my show or whatever. And then that was that. The next show, Obsidian came up. He said a lot of things. Angry Man and ARC disagreed again. And then, Angry Man wanted to come up. Obsidian, because normally when me and Obsidian do the Obsidian versus Black Love Industry, whenever somebody's on my show and their name and their face is in the title, they got free reign to, to exclude somebody from the panel if they think it's going to be some shit. I gave that to ARC. I told BGS the same thing. He didn't have nobody he wanted to exclude. I think I said the same thing to MOT. I let people know that, hey, because right around the time that I started doing that, it was when ARC and Obsidian had a potential chance of some serious beef. Like the words plagiarism was being thrown out there. So I was like, look, I got a one-on-one coming up. I was about to do a one-on-one with Obsidian. I had a one-on-one coming up with ARC. If y'all need to keep separate, we're going to keep it separate. So Obsidian was like, right, I don't want ARC on the panel. And ARC doubled down on the same thing. Yep. He said, I'm 99% sure that I don't want to have Obsidian on the panel. I was like, good rule. Let's go with that. So that became a de facto rule. If somebody is pre-planned into the show, we exchange emails in advance. Like Obsidian just can't hop on my panel and say who can and who can't be there. But if we work out a show in advance, which we do on our Friday shows, he can do that. He can do that. Now, it was a good rule at first because it was set up to essentially avoid beef and problems. But Obsidian being Obsidian, who, as he calls himself, he says women call him a professional asshole. We would agree to the closed panel show, and then he would still be throwing shots at people. And I'm like, we can't close the panel, but you still saying, harsh shit towards people, but they can't come up and defend themselves. So that caused a dilemma. That legitimately caused a dilemma. And that dilemma was worked around by me just dropping everybody down and letting Angry Man come up and say his piece. And he said his piece and respected what he said. He didn't say nothing wrong with what he said. He didn't say nothing wrong. He was everything that he said. He was pretty much right about the things that he said when he came up. Don't think he was wrong about anything that he said when he went down. Then, we carried on with the regularly scheduled program. And Obsidian threw a little sideways, little slight jab that went over my head. It went over ARC head too, because ARC didn't catch it either. I didn't catch it. ARC didn't catch it, but Angry Man caught it. Of course he did, and he took it as disrespect. Angry Man don't miss shit. We know that. Angry Man gonna catch all your little subtleties, and Obsidian did some little subtle, called it an intermission where people could come in and he said we can go. People can take a break, stand up, stretch their legs, go get popcorn, and let the people that disagree with him come and howl at the moon for a second, and then okay, let's disregard that, drop everything, drop them back down. We just get back to the regular show. Don't pay it no mind. Angry Man, and I botched that was Angry Man's interpretation of it, and I botched the way he explained it, but he explained it quite clear and why it was disrespect. And I didn't see it at the time, but ultimately I did eventually see it. And you could even see a conversation in the chat that me and because ARC initially thought that it was a good idea to drop their people down like that. And I thought it was a good idea to drop people down like that and let the people that disagree come up and sound off and give them the floor uninterrupted. That was at its face value a good idea, but when Obsidian analyzed it the way he analyzed it, we didn't catch it until after Angry Man said it, and we kind of agreed in the chat that that was kind of a jab. I didn't see it as that much of a jab. It wasn't until I really, went back and listened to it, and I was like, oh yeah, now I see what Angry Man was talking about. Because at first I was thinking that, nah, he kind of just, just going off. But then once I re-listened to it, I was like, okay, I see how he would legitimately see that as disrespect. And just the mere fact of not being able to come up and address somebody directly, given who he is and what he meant to the sector overall, I see how that's definitely, something he would view as disrespect. And in many ways it is. So, and that's something that I had, talked to Obsidian about, that, we can't close the panel, but you're throwing jabs and it's, so it was a tough situation there. It was a legitimate tough situation there that Angry Man felt legitimately wronged, and he wasn't wrong for feeling the way he felt, for reacting to it, and he wasn't wrong about nothing that he was saying. And so when I reached out to Angry Man trying to get the show set up, I had to address the elephant in the room. So I, let him know, got nothing but respect for you. You wasn't wrong about what happened there. And Angry Man rightfully said that, hey, it was, anywhere from, well, he didn't say, I hate when I got to reword what somebody said, but long story short, it was anywhere from 300 to 400 something people watching when he did what he did. And I de facto told him he wasn't wrong in an email, and he was right in that, something like that happened on air should be to some degree rectified on air, because he pointed out that a lot of people will trip on Angry Man, but then later come and show up through email and say that, hey man, you was right, man. I see what you were saying and this or that or blah, blah, blah. But in the public eye, he's just looking like the villain that just came in going hawk smash on everybody panel, which he does go hawk smash, Shout out to DJ Kuda. He hawk smashed Kuda shit. So yeah, that's a feature, not a bug with the Angry Man. He will go hawk smash on some shit, but he wasn't wrong. And and so reached out to him, tried to get a one-on-one set up. Tried to get a one-on-one set up, and then he did a show last night that had over 850 people on it, and he was explaining why he why he declined in the one-on-one. He sent Black Wolf back the $50, and the $50 that Black Wolf sent me, I had sent it to Angry Man when I was requesting the one-on-one. He sent that back to me, then I sent that back to Black Wolf. So Black Wolf, who tried to set up that one-on-one, got all his money back. And so all the I's were dotted and T's was crossed, and that was, handled right and handled professionally, and everything was handled professionally going forward. Everything as far as that was handled right. But I did want to address that because Angry Man addressed it, and I respect his decision and his reasoning as to why he's more or less or full blown staying away from, this channel or whatever. But I do want to just publicly say nothing but the utmost respect for Angry Man. It is no beef situation there. He explained his thoughts and his ideas clear like a man, and hopefully if I've explained my thoughts and ideas clear like a man too, and we all can work forward from there. But like I said, nothing but the utmost respect. And and Angry Man wasn't wrong about nothing that he said in that stream last night that was a few hours long. Late at night, I was almost falling asleep, but I stayed up and caught it. And respect, salute, and shout out, to Angry Man. And damn it, I thought I was going to talk about this very briefly for 5 minutes. I've been talking for like 20 minutes on it. And y'all know me and where I'm at. You ain't gonna never see me beefing with nobody in here. And I like to build bridges, so to speak. I ideally want my show to be a show for everybody. People with all ideas, backgrounds, perspectives can come in and have their say, and hopefully it could be respectful with a little bit of tension, a little bit of tables getting flipped over every now and then. That's expected. That's what the mute button is for. I can mute people, drop somebody down, bring, if two people get out of hand, I can go ahead and mute them. If they just will not be muted, I could drop them down, pass the mic to somebody else, bring them back. It's ways to manage shit to where, I think all personalities ought to be able to coexist. I think all personalities should be able to coexist, but I understand why some can't. But I will try to manage that situation, try to manage situations. And I will try to manage situations and personalities because I do want all people to be here. Like I said before, my show is for everybody. It just might not be for everybody at the same time, because there's some people who just can't be in the same room at the same time. But I do want that environment, I liked what O'Shea had going on when he was doing panels regularly. It was people from all walks coming in and exchanging ideas. I like that feel. I like that vibe. And I think that's been missing. I think that's definitely been missing from this space, a lot of the heavy hitters coming together in the same room. But as we know, sometimes shit's going to go awry. We know that. We know that some people is shit is going to go awry. But my goal is to have a space for everybody. That's what I'm moving towards. That's what I'm pushing towards. Sister George says, what are you going to do going forward? In pure, I'm not even gonna call you a name. In pure fill in the blank fashion, ask a vague ass question. Going forward as far as what, Sister George? Going forward as far as what? What the hell are you talking about? What am I going to do going forward? Elaborate on that. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Okay. My man David Johnson in the building. Welcome to How Politics Work, my people. The dance of politics is a skilled practice. I think I missed somebody's super chat when I was rambling. Brian Randall, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. Okay, you clearly weren't listening. Obsidian don't run my panels when he's present. If we do an agreed upon show, like Obsidian versus Black Love Industry, of which his name and his face is in the title and in the thumbnail, on those ones, when we have our email passing the show notes back and forth, we discuss whether or not it's going to be an open panel or a closed panel, and nominate certain individuals who he would like to be on the panel or who I would like to be on the panel. But on a show like this, where his name is not in the title or the thumbnail, he has no say over what goes on. I only give people say on what goes on and who comes up if we agree in advance to do a show. And if it's somebody who they want to avoid an argument, beef, or confrontation with, they have the right, given that their name is on the dais, to exclude an individual. And seeing as that's only one day a week with Obsidian on the Obsidian versus Black Love Industry Friday show, so I think it's an oversell of a statement to say, will Obsidian be able to run your panels when he's present? Because he don't get to run panels when he's present, but we do operate under that agreement on the Friday show. Do you see the nuanced difference in how there's embedded fuckery in your statement? And I've explained that multiple times. I've explained that multiple times. So if you're asking the question, will I suspend the exclude people from the panels if your name is in the title and in the thumbnail? Will I suspend that rule? I don't know, because it is in its spirit a good rule that avoids beef. It is a good rule that avoids beef. But like I pointed out, Obsidian is one of the ones that was guilty of exploiting that rule to where it's a closed panel, but he was taking shots at everybody when they were, in pure Obsidian fashion, professional asshole. We know how I do, taking shots at everybody while simultaneously they couldn't come up and defend themselves. That was, to me, that was a flag on the play. So that situation has to get rectified. And me and Obsidian talked about that on the air. So that situation did have to, that has to get rectified. That's a fair discussion. But the way you worded that sentence was fucked up and inaccurate. Nick Penn, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Now, off the strength, keep it hot. Thank you very much for the super chat. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that one. Oh, but what does that say? Sister George is a fraud. Oh, how could you possibly say that? I didn't even mean to click on that one. Oops, I clicked on it again. What does it say? Sister George is a fraud. Oh, my goodness. Okay, you kidding. You was just about to lose your wrench again. You on a short leash with the wrenches. You on a short leash. All right, there was a previous topic before I addressed the issue that I did want to address, and I wanted to address it in just 5 minutes, but I got going. I got to talking, and hopefully I said everything that needed to be said. Hopefully I said everything that needed to be said. And I'm going to drop the link, and hopefully we can talk about something else. Clicking accidents happen. Shout out to New. Appreciate all your support. Black Uru in the building. Obsidian is like fire. It warms, it illuminates, and it burns and destroys. There's some truth in that, because I like to build bridges. Obsidian don't mind burning them. Obsidian don't mind burning bridges. It's a lot of truth in that statement. But as you see on the screen right there, it says like, share, hit the Cash App, subscribe, or become a Patreon. I got 35 Patreons right now. My two most recent ones are, where are they? Wealthy Firefighter and David Q. I didn't want to put your last name on there because that might be your government name, and you probably don't want people to know your government name. But shout out to my last two Patreons. I appreciate that. Appreciate the people that come through on the Patreon end of things. Feel free to do that. And we can possibly call this a nice little 1 hour in and out, because this dive is 1 hour, 59 minutes and 23 seconds left. And I could duck my ass in and out of here. Man, a lot of y'all are coming through on the super chat end. Thank you, SW1, the first DJ for the Living Color. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your support. Dropping it in there one more time. Anybody want to come up and talk on any issue? Any topic? I had an original topic. If you were listening in the beginning, you can come up and speak on that. You can come on and speak on that. But the topic that I just got off of, that I had to wait to the end, I wanted to make sure, I wanted to get an audience before I discuss that. And okay, my man Edward Anderson in the building. I was just about to shut shit down. And Ed, what's going on?
Yeah, well, I fucked that up, huh?
Nah, you good. I wanted to keep it going, but when nobody coming up, I was gonna call it at an hour. Well, what's up?
What's up? Nah, nothing much, man. You know how it is. But no, as far as I'm not. I mean, you've already addressed that situation, because I saw that shit in real time, and I was like, I was with him at first, but when he was doing that, I was like, yeah, I already know what's going on with that. But it is what it is. You learn. The longer you're manosphere, you learn. People fall out, they come back, they fall out. It's only a couple of beefs that's really stayed like intact. But anyway, as far as the topic, that's what you want to have somebody on.
Yeah, let's get on the topic. Let's get on the topic. Yeah.
So basically, the topic is about cooperation.
Yeah. Essentially that. Well, it was a couple conversations going on where one of them, BGS played a clip. I think he may have played a clip from the breakdown. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know where that clip came from. I was hearing women's voice in the background. BGS did most of the talking. There was a few women talking. So
that was a 4-hour video, because the link is in the description. It's like from, I think, Nicolette. I forget her name, but it's a YouTuber, not like a bigger YouTuber, kind of like on the same level as what the breakdown is. And it was a couple of dudes on there. Ginger George was on there. And I guess, I forget, they would talk about like femininity. They were going back and forth, talk about like, because they talked after that and just talk about what BGS was saying, laying it down, saying if you all don't get this shit under control, millennials, it's it. Gen Z is going to be really the real buffer class, to where it's going to be first gen that they're just hopping off the gate, and then after that you're done. It's over, because really millennials, it's really over after us, to be honest with you. And that's really what he was laying it out plain. These are what the facts are. I mean, without the bullshit, and they accepted it. And I guess they want to talk about this cooperation thing, but like BGS said, the reason why we frame it on the women, because at the end of the day, dudes are not the problem. It's not the dudes are just saying dudes demands are not the issue. dudes are not even really asking for submission from females. They're really asking for cooperation. You don't even really hear dudes talk about body counts like that. Black men 10 years ago was playing the stepdaddy cleanup game in a lot intense numbers. The reason that stopped is not because black men just said fuck it. It's because black women just decided to overtly just disrespect stepfathers. And folks like me that saw that coming up was like, fuck that shit. Because I don't have to deal with a chick that's got kids. Like, that's not race loyalty. And the Gen Xers didn't teach these millennials that you can't be overt with that bullshit. Because that's the real difference between Gen Xers and millennials is Gen Xers were a little bit more covert and passive aggressive with their bullshit versus millennials. They have this need to put their proverbial dick on the table and tell you they run your ass. That's why you see all these submissive husbands and shit of dudes that are married. And dudes are not just going to deal with that. So as far as cooperation, my thing is, if you can't cooperate, if we're going to argue about cooperation, then at that point the black community is over and there's nothing that needs to be talked about. Because what you're saying is now you have a built-in resistance to even cooperating with another human being. Like, you don't have to be sexually attracted to somebody to cooperate with them. That's one of the things, the different submission. And what you're starting to see is black women actually don't like black men as human beings. And when you start talking with cooperation, it's resistance. And it doesn't always come out in ratchetry. Even when you look at the Will Smith Jada table talk and how Will was trying to at least get Jada to admit that she did something wrong. Her first reaction was, I didn't do shit wrong at all. Not even the fact that even though they had an open relationship, that you basically blew up the spot, which fucked up my money, which fucks up your money, because we're supposedly in this together. She didn't even want to admit that, and Jason Black actually pointed that shit out, and he said that's where the issue's really going to be. And so I don't know where you go from here, because the only thing the Manosphere's been doing, I'm done after this, is we've been showing you that this is a problem, because women have been in denial that it is. Anyway, I'll leave it to the other brother on here. What is his thought?
Pablo, what's going on?
What's going on, Bernard? Can you hear me?
Yep, you coming through good.
All right. Well, I didn't have a lot on the topic, but I did have a little something about your opening monologue. You know,
that is the topic. The other part was the segue. So it was needed to be, addressed, but I would rather going forward discuss the opening diatribe. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I always view your channel as Switzerland. You're Switzerland. I mean, I viewed it as neutral ground for all other people, all other brothers in the Manosphere to come, have conversation, break bread. If it's a beef, you can squash it or not. Either way. I kind of viewed your channel as the neutral meeting ground of whosoever will come, let them come. I didn't view you as an ally or in the bag for Obsidian, nor against Angry Man or anyone else. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think you play it very well. I think that you work with Obsidian because you and he had an arrangement to work together. And that's pretty much what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. Black men got to stop getting out of their feelings all the time and learn how to deal with each other, even though we disagree on different points. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just kind of how I feel about it. That doesn't mean that Angry Man can't come over or whatever and chop it up.
Right. No. Angry Man's obviously always welcome. That goes without saying. But he has his reasons what he laid out why he feels the way he feels, and it is what it is, and what he said was understood, and I'm leaving it there.
Well, I didn't know that it was I didn't know, because the way you make it sound what you're saying is that Ty always was. There were just exceptions when it comes to when people were coming up, because that's what y'all did. When I first came to the video, I thought, oh, this was just some new stuff. you know, and this is something you're doing now because there may be stuff that kind of went out of hand before, which, you know, I was on board with because I understand that, you know, trust me, I've had idiots start hollering at me out of nowhere like they about to have a fucking period and shit. And even when I come up and challenge people, I mean, a lot of times that can interrupt the flow. So I get if you say, okay, we're gonna have a couple of people on here and they're gonna be kind of vetted. I got that. I was completely on board with that. And then
Yeah.
it kind of been like, okay, we got Supreme King Coon. We already know he's not gonna wild out. Kevin for the most part not gonna wild out. Even ARC in the right, like when nobody's really calling him out or
Yeah.
disrespected. I get that. So I got that part. It was just when okay, Angry Man I thought was in that category, and then he obviously put the money up, and then that's when I started to see okay, what you really want is this. You don't want to control. You want to minimize dissension, and that's fine. It's just, Obsidian's brand is really built on the foundation of his truth is so strong it can weather being cross-examined. But and Angerman's not the type of person he's gonna come off the gate jumping on people. You usually don't see it in one-on-one situations, or like a couple of people's situations, because usually when he gets mad, and this is understandable, it's when he's not really allowed to speak or communicate something. But and with less people on the panel, or as less people that's going to want to take up oxygen, such as let's say myself, that's not going to be a problem because the stuff the back and forth. And I thought he would have added dialogue because he wasn't going to just crash Obsidian. He's dealt with Obsidian before, but it is what it is. Now we know that's how it was by default. That makes a lot of sense because, like I said, I just didn't know that, and I think a lot of people in the chat didn't know that, or maybe they do what black people do and they ignore it when you say it. But now that folks know
Right.
that, that's not going to be that expectation, not on that show, because that makes a lot of sense. I knew Obsidian wasn't coming out here out of the complete kindness of his own heart. I mean, there was a reason that you all agreed to do it, and that makes perfect sense. I mean, it does. So it's just now people know. People didn't know at the time, and that's the only reason it even became an issue. And it wasn't just Angry Man did not know. Because if that was established, like, okay, well, we did that, we were making exceptions, but we're gonna close this up because obviously Obsidian's putting the time in there to do this. He's got other things he could be doing. So I completely understand that. But that's all it was. But anyway, as far as the cooperation, I know Game Changer said he wants submission. I mean, I understand that, Game Changer. You have a right to demand that. I'm saying, but you're married, Bernard. So you can speak for people that have been married.
Was married. Yeah, was married. Yeah.
Okay. No, absolutely. And but so you can speak for somebody who has been married. So from your perspective, what do you think black men want? Do you think black men need submission, or do you think they're willing to accept cooperation? Let me define what cooperation is.
Yeah,
Cooperation is, to me, is basically you operate under the understanding of, look, I'm an adult, you're an adult. I don't have a problem with you. It's a time and a place to question, but I don't have a problem with you submitting feedback as to what's going on, or having a conversation. But understand that conversation is going to be done with logic, not no. I feel some type of way, so therefore it is. We're two adults. This is the modern era. So when we discuss if I know what I'm saying makes sense, unless you got something to counter it with, that either makes more sense or some legitimate concerns, then basically, do you have a better idea? Then I'm gonna need you to cooperate with what is going on. Submission is, at the end of the day, what I say goes. Like George W. Bush says, I'm the decider. So you can have an opinion, but I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and you could be more malevolent with it or benevolent with it, or you could be more heavy-handed with it, right? Cooperation is more about kind of like saying, okay, we're both adults, and we'll deal with this as adults. And whoever has the best idea wins. The problem, and sometimes I'll defer to you when if it's something that you have more of an expertise on, shit like that. The problem is women are not even doing that shit. What
Right.
they're basically doing, black women are not even doing that. This is why, by the way, black men, it's so easy for black men to date Latin women or white women, or for them to still maintain who they are, but still deal with women, because that's actually a great deal. If you're a guy that, you are a valued guy, like even to that woman, because she's going to be comparing you to the individual dude she deals with, right? If you're a guy, obviously you pass the you look good test to her, and you all, got chemistry. she's gonna see that as, oh wow, so he's not gonna say my way or the highway. He's willing to lead, and if I have input, he will seriously take what I'm saying into consideration in real time. See, that's the reason why black men are even sought after by these other races of women, because see, their men are not doing that. Their men are like, even if I'm fucked up, even if it's fucked up, we're going my way. Like, I'm gonna have to wait until what I do actually blows up in my face. And even then, I may not consult with you. I may consult with another man. Black men don't do that. And see, that's what makes black men actually appealing to other races of women, even women that may be more feminist minded, because there's degrees of feminism. There's degrees to it. So I hope that makes sense.
No, I definitely like what you're saying there. Black Uru, what's going on?
Hey, how you all doing? Thanks for inviting me on the panel. How you do, Ed? I have a question for Ed, Edward. In a cooperation scenario, who has the deciding veto power?
The dude, ultimately. But it's not something, but because at the end of the day, if a woman has veto power, then a woman's leading. And if a woman's leading, then men are not going to invest in what they don't control. Like, like for instance, I deal with it, like a lot of women that I deal with, especially black women, are more assertive. The difference though is with their assertions, they know how to shut the fuck up. They know how to control that shit. It's like, look, if you got questions, I'm comfortable with you throwing anything out at me. Not know when we in public and we gotta you question audibles. No, but when we're actually talking about something, I have no problem with you asking anything. But because for them to understand that this is a sound plan. And I mean legit feedback, not no, I feel some type of way. Because if it's you feel some type of way, I'm gonna go with that too. But what I find is assertive women are generally logical women. So if you can handle it from a logical perspective and you already show you got credibility in what you're talking about, then it shouldn't be a problem. Here's another thing too. Let's say we're talking about something like real estate. And let's say I'm dating a woman that's a real estate agent. Now, I'm not going to completely defer to her, and it's something I want to do. I'm not going to defer to her as far as her leading me. But at the same time, I know there may be a couple of things that she can add in to real estate that I don't know. So I'm going to take that into consideration. So if I want to, let's say I want to do some kind of real estate investment thing or something like that, I still know what I want to do and how I want to go about doing it, because I'm not an idiot when it comes to real estate. But at the same time, if she has some feedback, I'm definitely going to take that in consideration, because it's something that she knows, especially with creative finance and stuff like that. But see, the thing is, black men have never not been in a situation where we don't take what our women say with consideration. The problem is what black men say is a lot of times our women ain't saying shit. When a woman comes to us and they demonstrate they have equal or more knowledge in the situation, we're going to just say, okay, that's good game, and we go with that. It doesn't mean she sets the plan and tells me what to do, but I may take her idea into what I'm trying to accomplish, because that's a better idea. See, other races of men don't do that. They'll be like, well, because you said it, I'm not going to take it seriously. That's the battle other races of women have with their men. Black men have never had that problem. Our problem is our women have distilled down to this thing where they think because they got a box, what they say goes. You see, our women used to be a lot wiser than that. That's why I always talk about that Judge Hatchett shit. They used to know how to say shit, and the shit they said actually has value. Now, our women are like talking to it might as well be talking to a fucking 12-year-old at this point. And then, oh, well, I do this because, the sky is green, and, because I feel this type of way. Black women, Shahrazad Ali, they used to be able to check that shit. And they used to understand to come at us in a logical way, because they knew they came at us with logic. We would take what they saying just as seriously as a dude. That's why other races of women can I'm not saying it's better. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying how there's less personality conflicts. You got women that want to be like, if you look at the personality types, you got lions, koalas, monkeys, and fucking owls. I'm a combination of a lion and an owl. Owls are logical, lions are more like leader types. Koalas are nurturers. Fucking monkeys are like extroverts. Generally, lions look for koalas and monkeys as far as like compatibility mates.
Where
problem in the black community.
Where does this come from with the lions, koalas, and tigers?
Well, these are based. These are condensation of the personality types. There's technically 16 personality types. But you can do but other studies like, dude, I got this from Jeffrey Combs, and he gets this from the people that actually, but the stuff that he gets this stuff from
Jeffrey Combs and personality type, something like that will come up.
Yeah, and he does, but it's not really blog posts. He does podcasts on it. He's a sales seminar dude, but the shit that he gets it from are like doctorate scientists actually came up with this shit. So he's just repeating it. So this is stuff that people with doctorates came, and I forget the names of the people that actually came up with it, but they wrote the book over this over like 20, 30 years and do a massive amount of tests. So this is science, what I'm saying.
All right, cool. I will. Yeah, I'm going to look into that. I wrote it down. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah. So and I'll give you more information on it so you can do it. But the point is, lions look for koalas who are more nurturing types, and they will acquiesce to everybody's a rainbow, by the way. Everybody's a blend. Think of it as a pie chart. It's just more are dominant than others. FYI. But the problem with black women is black women want to be lionesses. They want to be lions. It's this myth of the alpha couple. There is no fucking alpha couple. They want a quarterback, and they have this built-in resistance towards black men. See, they don't act this way towards non-black men. You can even see it in the workplace. They don't have this same resistance to leadership of non-black. But with black men, they always got a problem. And it doesn't matter. You even see it with BGS. With how deep he can go with the shit. They still want to question his bullshit just because the fucking sky is blue. And that is what the issue is. And dudes are not going to be in this perpetual, I got to prove my credibility to you. We have no problem explaining something. But I'm sure, Black Guru, being you're an older gentleman, it's like, okay, you want to explain something, you're going to do it once. And that's fucking it. Not know I need to keep on coming back to the table because your emotions are into it, and this is just some simple shit.
Well, you know
you ask a bitch, what do you want to eat? Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even think it's a situation where men are like have to try to prove their credibility to a woman, or a woman is even. I don't even think they're asking men to do that. I think what it is that they want to do what they want to do, however the fuck they want to do it. And all this back and forth conversation is really just a smoke screen. You know, that's more so what we're doing. We're
Bernard.
We're tearing down your smoke screen.
Well, hold on, Bernard. You know I've been silent up here. I don't like to interrupt. Salute to everybody. Salute to Bernard. Salute to Edward Anderson. Salute to Black Guru.
Hold on, Jalen Rowdy.
Salute to the Most High Christ first and foremost. Bernard, I had to interrupt.
Real quick. Thank you for the super chat, Jalen Rowdy. I appreciate that. He said, Edward hitting today, man. Not going to invest in what they can't control. And O'Shea Duke Jackson in the building came through. Chilling says, the manosphere will never stop. Good job, Bernard. Thanks, O'Shea. Appreciate you always coming through showing love. All right, let's go here. We got David Johnson, aka the asshole, in here. Go ahead. You got the mic.
Salute Most High Christ. Salute all praise to the Most High Christ. Reason I had to interrupt, Bernard, thank you. What you said was the fucking $1 million point. Like, this all is a smoke screen. Like, listen, bros, it's all lies and manipulation. What Bernard just said is he hit on the tag. Now, let me say this. That's ultimately the game finisher. We should need any more conversation about black women and all what's going on after what Bernard said. I'm going to elaborate on. We really don't need to have any more conversations about black women. But listen, I understand for the sake of sanity purposes and new people coming in, we're going to continue to have the conversations. I encourage everybody to have that same mind state. But to prove what you just said, Bernard, that's exact. Like, listen, try anything black women do to us on them and see if they'll say, well, it's okay. That's how you know they know it's all bullshit. See, what they do is they know we have such a yearning for logic and wanting the answer and just wanting to have understanding. They play off of that. So they keep you chasing your goddamn tail. They know God. Listen, if Will would have hooked up with one of Willow's friends, and been hitting that, and Jada and Will never had an agreement that was their relationship, Jada would have felt all some type of goddamn way, and Jada and every woman here know it. That's why when they talk about men being with 20 women who are 20 years younger or their junior, they go, ugh, yeah. But when they talk about women doing it, When they talk about women doing it, Stella got her groove back. See, it's all manipulation for their benefit, and they know it. Like, they know if you took the kids from them, it would crush them. They know if you took them to child support and had them paying child support and kept the kids, it would crush them. They know if you played visiting games with the kids, it would crush them. They know if you took half of their money, it would crush them. They know these things. They're just playing stupid, aka what Bernard just said, the smoke screen, just to keep the argument going. So they keep you guys discombobulated and arguing and chasing your tail while they enjoying life, putting gray hairs on y'all ass, while they making y'all go to the old folks home fast and driving y'all insane while they enjoy their lives. Now here's the saddest part of it all. They're totally, now this is what it is, whether they like it or not, they're totally destroying the Black community. And I mean, fuck right now, they don't even see the ramifications of their actions for the future. Like, I'm like, let me say this, no offense, I love ladies, I'm talking about bitches and ratchets. Bitch, you would destroy our whole race, our future, for your selfish, opportunistic, narcissistic moment? You silly, simple bitch. I'm not talking to ladies, because ladies know better than this. We are talking to the bitches. So like I said, again, the conversation should be over, but know that, brothers, for the sake of sanity, we have to continuously have these conversations. But no, that's all it is. They get it. As they fucking been get it. And like I said, if you don't think they get it, try doing the shit they do to you and see how they'll go for it. It's all smoke screen. I'm gonna go back on you for that one.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, just to piggyback on what he said about the ladies, you know, ladies don't have a problem. Like, just to bring Kevin Samuels into it, ladies don't have a problem getting married. They don't. Like, this idea that a Black woman has to be all this in a bag of chips in order for a Black man to marry her is just complete and utter absolute bullshit. The problem is, and this is where Kevin comes into it, is the type of dudes that these women are chasing, which they have a right to chase. I mean, if you want to play in the NBA, you're going to have to be an NBA level motherfucker. I'm sorry. That just is what it is. Just because you may brush elbows with a dude in the YMCA because he just want to get some reps in and he's in that league, don't mean you in that league. And by the way, BGS did a video about this when he was breaking down K Michelle. This is before the B Simone situation. He was saying, you know, she basically used, you know, surgery to basically get her from a 5 to like a 7.5. But at the end of the day, that is still who you are. And sorry, but just because you a singer doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're at that level. This is where people are using money and shit like that as a mechanism for oh, well, we make the same amount of money or we're peers. No, bitch, just because I work with you don't mean that I'm trying to fuck you. That's not how it works. Because, you know, she just got mad at one dude. She tried to air him out because he didn't want to work with her because she ain't got the money to pay him for his feature. So now he's all sort of this and that and whatever. But K Michelle is a perfect example of that bitter chick shit where they think they're old. Nothing too is K Michelle has K Michelle is not an ugly female, but K Michelle has a ugly personality. And I say that because K Michelle is a lighter skin tone chick. And even in light skin, you don't see dudes giving her a pass because she's light skinned. She gets the same treatment as any other bitch that acts like that. That I'm bitter, that I just can't stand myself bullshit. Anyway, my point to all of this is this. At the end of the day, Black men have the reserve. Their greatest power is their power to choose. Whether that's intercultural dating, interracial dating, whether they choose to not, you know, engage in marriage or pump and dump, we have a choice, and and we are fine and content with our choice for the most part. Everybody ain't on YouTube bitching about their ability. Most of these dudes are bitching. We're talking about this like conservatives would talk about liberals. Look at how liberals are fucking up the country. It ain't no, oh well, you know, because I'm broke, like I'm gonna do. No, it's basically like a political and conservative debate. It's basically dudes that are trying to argue for patriarchy at its intents. Cooperation is what most of us are just saying, versus females that are really trying to bring into it, legitimately legitimize gynocracy. They want you to accept the shit they're doing. And they may put on a face like Jada does where they play this I don't know bullshit. But the problem is you got dudes like Will to engage in that versus dudes that just basically say, okay, I'm done. I'm walking off the table. What Will should have did, he should have said, you know what? That's cool. I'm filing for a divorce. He should have did that right there. You know, and basically said, even if he wasn't really going to divorce her, he should have put that shit out there just to see how she reacts. to put the fear in her. And if she shows she has no fear, then there's nothing you could be done. But as far as the cooperation shit, if you can't cooperate, I got one for you. Bernard. Tell me why these bitches can't even cooperate with dudes they fucking.
Okay, let me get in. Let me slide right in on that. Let me come right in on that. That was wait, Bernard, let me get in. I can be right back. That was my next point.
Shout out my super chat. Shane Vicious came through the super chat. He says MGTOW saves lives, money, and your sanity. Sir Tice came through. He said what David says is on spot. They're like someone that benefits from white privilege, but they will deny that it exists.
Hello.
Thanks for the super chat, hello. Sir Tice. And also,
salute, Sir Tice.
Also, where's the post that I posted? Go sub to Complex Design. He doing good work over there. He's doing good work over there on his channel. Go check out Complex Design. And that's not the Black Brain Trust. That's something separate that he's a part of. This is him doing his thing on his own channel. So go check him out. All right. Go ahead, David Johnson. You had you was trying to get something in.
Like Edward just said, that was my next point. That's why I just chimed in. I had to. My next point was this: how you know it's all lies, manipulation, and misdirection. Because femininity and submission, aka cooperation, is what women are supposed to be. These aren't things we're supposed to have to bargain with. These are things you're supposed to come to the table already on. But now again, back to manipulation and misdirection. So then I go, okay, you're not going to do that. Then back to what Edward said, then how are you fucking a man you won't submit to, or you won't give your femininity to? How are you with a man that you're fucking that you won't submit to, or you won't give your femininity to? Keep them to that question. You'll never fucking get an answer, because again, it's all misdirection and manipulation.
Man, I was on Fantastic. Was it Fantastic shit or Ramil shit? I forget. I'm a very smart guy. I'm gonna say that right now before I make this statement.
Go ahead, don't be modest.
And I hope that anybody in the panel would agree with that. So when I say this, nigga, when I was on that shit was giving me a fucking headache. All the shit they were talking about when it comes to how to deal with the child support system, how to get around it, how to work with the bitch. The fucking, you got to establish a relationship. Because Ty City was on there, just all this shit. I'm like, fuck, Joe, I need a fucking associate's degree in dealing with a bitch after I have a kid with a bitch. And I'm like, that shit was making me like, I'm like, what the fuck? And the whole thing I was thinking, I'm not fucking having kids. Fuck this shit. Because if I have kids, I wanted to be with a black, because I want my grandkids to look like me. That's my thing. It ain't got nothing to do with black females and their feelings. And I'm like, if I gotta do all this bullshit, this fucking college degree to have a kid, but man, fuck this shit. I'm done. And that's what I was thinking, because I was in it at first, but then because they were really going back and forth about it, because it was getting like into some complicated, deep shit. And I'm like, and these all dudes got experience. Like Fantastic's married now. Ty City's got kids. Ty City has control of his kid. Like even when Ty City said something, he would say, no, you can't go for 100% custody, because it's gonna look like you being spiteful. So what you got to do is you got to get 50% custody, because if you get 50% custody, child support gonna be so low, and the shit's gonna be to the point where they not gonna want the fucking kid anyway, because they're not profiting. So you just gotta wait that out. And I was like, and then it was about the differences between states, and we got into like 5-6 different states, and I was like, oh my fucking God, what's my point? My point is, all these dudes fuck the bitch, and the bitch decide to have a kid with them. So it's already established. Right. So we can't play the, well, he's a lame, like he's there's no sexual attraction shit. Because not only did she fuck him, she fucked him enough to have a baby by him. So we've already taken that off the table. But now we still can't get cooperation, even as to how you deal with the kid. By the way, I'm talking about dudes. A lot of these dudes actually got 100% custody of their kid. So you can't say the dude ain't engaged, because he's going to court. He's dealing with the shit. So we're talking about 50 or 100% custody on the dude's side. So you see what I'm talking like? So that's how I know it ain't about the lame, the mouthpiece. It's not that. Because you filter all them niggas out and just go to the child support court. That is cooperation hell. Anyway,
they keep you chasing your tail so they can play the game, man. I watch this shit and laugh, and sometimes I don't know if I should, because sometimes when I'm sitting back as a player, a game, we're gonna bring game in, and I'm sitting back watching, I'm like, should I expose what these women doing? Because to an extent, make no mistake, the suckers need to be got. Like, I never have a problem with a sucker being a sucker getting got, because he's agreeing to that. You're agreeing to be a sucker. You're saying no matter what, I'll give you this. And so I don't like, listen, if he likes it, who am I to say no? Man, if you want her to take everything, go give it to her. So a lot of times when I'm watching women manipulating, and I want to go, brothers, don't go for that. And sometimes, because they say sometimes you got to be careful about who you help, because you might help a man out of a hole and you never know how he got down there. Maybe he was the killer and they trapped him down there and you just helped him out. So a lot of times I'm sitting back, should I expose it or should I just watch?
Well,
and sometimes
it's all a matter of do the dude have the information or not? Like when you say you don't care if a sucker get got. Okay, I was the sucker. I just didn't have the information. I didn't understand women. I learned on the job. Like, damn. But no, you weren't a sucker then. Like, listen, a sucker is the person that know, like, I know this is what is going to happen to me. Okay. I just want to do it. I want you so bad. No, ignorance is not being a sucker. You don't know. Cool. That's the very reason you are. Listen, those are the guys. That's the reason why I do help. I go where the brother might not know. That's the reason why I do come out and expose the
You're a victim of misinformation.
I'm talking about the dudes who want to lead with their wallets going, hey, I don't care what's going on, what you're into, just be my chick. No, he's
well, that's
like,
tricky.
what is the written exactly? What does Zero say? He's negotiating his surrender. I don't have a problem with those dudes getting got. That's what he wants. He wants to surrender. Go surrender. So that's the reason.
Also, another thing too is it's not on.
We got to get.
It's not. I'll say this real quick. It's not on some malice. It's not on some malice. It's that niggas got to touch the hot stove sometimes, and they got to touch the hot stove not for just them, but for the next dude. This is what happened with the stepdaddy dude. When dudes were justifying, you need to be a stepfather to clean up the black community. Now all these younger people are seeing motherfuckers get just wholesale disrespected. What the women are doing with the dude that chose to do that, and so that becomes a better case to make than you just making it. So I get what you're saying.
Right on. We're about to go to Black Uru. The link in the chat if somebody else want to come up, but Rich Goodson says if a real man is supposed to protect his lady at the risk of serious injury or death, what does the lady owe him in return? Cooperation is minimal. I agree. Cooperation is minimal.
It is minimal. It is minimal.
I can't protect her. If I can't correct her, I can't protect her. That's the rule for me. Even if you're not my
shirt.
Yeah, right. Even if you're not my wife, if I can't tell you, listen, sis, slow down, simmer down. There's no need to. If I can't talk to you and have a logical conversation on the street or in public where there's a volatile situation, I can't protect you. I need to be able to talk to you to be able to protect you, because you might be the problem. You might be the fuse.
Oh, you can't say that. See, at that point, that's where we need to really get a female on here and ask them what the fuck do they really mean by correction? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when you go down that rabbit hole all the way to the bottom, when they say they're not protected, because that's that Megan Thee Stallion situation, let's get into that. But what they're really saying is they're not protected from their own self-hatred. You got a lot of females that they hate being black women, and they project that hatred on the resentment towards black men.
Edward, why do they hate being black women?
I'll say it this way: they hate being black women a hell of a lot more. If you look at who hates themselves more, black men and black women, it's black men do not have a problem with all the shit we get fucked up. We do not have an issue being black men. We don't.
Right.
But listen, black women have a built-in issue being themselves. And as a result, they always had this thing where they're not protected. And it's really they're not protected against their own negative feelings. And see, if they ever say that.
Edward, you got to tell them why do they feel what you just said? Why is that?
Well, shit, I don't know. It could be because they dark.
Let me answer for you. Let me answer for you.
Have the status of white women.
No, it's not that even. Listen. I give it to you better than that. Listen. If we go, I don't want to agree with that. We're on the bottom. Let's go with it. If we're on the bottom, they're on the bottom. Like who? Like listen. Are they over us? Overall as a collective. So if they're not over us and black people are on the bottom, who's really on the bottom?
Well,
I don't agree.
Real quick,
I don't agree that black women are on the bottom. I think we're.
No, that's how they think. But listen, that's how they see it.
Well,
so you don't understand. You don't see it that way.
No. I get what you're saying, because Black Guru's right when we talk about power, but when we're talking about how they feel about themselves on the sexual market hierarchy, they're at the bottom.
Exactly.
All right, Nick Penn, thank you for the super chat. He said it's called Machiavellianism. They high on this dark triad shit. LOL. Michael Holt in the building. He says, "May Black Uru be allowed to speak." Thanks. Yeah, I was trying to give Black Uru the mic so he could lay out what he was trying to say. So go ahead, Black Uru. Then we're gonna go to MOT. Got a really nice logo there, MOT. By the way, I like that. But go ahead, Black Uru.
Actually, I think MOT was trying to get in. I'll defer.
Okay, yeah, good. Welcome, MOT. And you ain't been up here in a while, so I'm glad to have you back, MOT. Go ahead. You got the mic.
Well, I got time today for the wrong reasons, but all right, man. So here's the thing. This is an easily solvable situation.
Oh shit.
Think it is. It ain't got nothing to do with bunk beds or anything like that. It's just like that. What I want you guys to do is get your shit together, and once you get your shit together, you destroy the grab and go nigga system. Once you get your shit together. Because once you get your shit together, that's the great equalizer. Because other cultures of women understand that in order for you to be at the end of the race with the man, you have to run the race with the man when he ain't got shit. Because women start off with beauty and fertility up front. Men don't start off with productivity up front. So if they stay together throughout the entire time, the women's beauty and fertility fades and the men's productivity increases. So that way, when you actually get to 30, 35, or maybe even 40 of people cooperating with each other and understanding that simple concept, there's no way this shit can be off the rails. But if you are a man who rewards women who have been on the market, because I'm telling you, Black women are probably the far most sexual women of any woman anywhere in the world, to the point where other men, other women around the world envy their fucking position. This is why they, like, once they get a hold of feminism, not like government sponsored, but anything else, they don't fuck with the local men anymore. Because they got so many other options now that they've been quote unquote liberated. So you have to realize that you have to be on your shit and leaving these people alone in order to do that.
Facts.
Like this was destroyed. The concept of this was destroyed on a household by household basis, and it can only be fixed on a household by household basis. Now, if you try to wait on groupthink to save this, groupthink is how we got here. It's going to take individuals separating from it and being productive in order to make sure that this stuff happens. Thanks so much for having me, man. But that's all I had to say.
Yeah, and just to add to that, if you are not already doing so, appeal to the younger males in your lives, your your nephews, sons of your cousins or whatever, to refer to MOT's point, because the earlier they get the message, the earlier in life they can focus on becoming the productive men who will have the advantages that MOT describes. Before Edward, they get entwined in child support court and those kinds of issues. You got to get them, because as I was listening to you, Edward, the thing you described, the other gentleman talking about all of their entanglements that resulted from sex and reproduction. The thing that came to my mind was, imagine the amount of time that they wasted doing all of that stuff. All the things that MOT described about building yourself up, becoming much more economically competitive, focusing on your career, focusing on your business. You can't do that, man, if you're entwined with some hellion female who's out to undermine everything you do, everything you possibly do. You can't save money. You can't strategize. You can't focus because you're so angry and you're so infuriated and confused by all the drama she's putting you through, that's state sponsored. So again, I would greatly urge all of you on the panel and the men in the chat room and the empathetic women as well. Talk to all the younger boys in your lives. Give them the game as early as you can. And maybe you eliminate that population of simps and suckers and daggers going forward.
All right.
I mean, I get what you. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's just that, like, honestly, we're kind of past that at this point, where that actually making a difference. And I'll say this too: that's not really where the danger is. The real danger is, like I said before, these dudes are just not dealing with black women off gate. They're gonna say, okay, that's the problem, because I know women that don't do that and that are married and all of that, black women. But the reality is that's what they're doing. And BGS said this too: is they're just not dating black women. They're saying black women are the problem, so I'm going Latina, I'm going mulatto, and now these women are coming out ratcheting up the colorism crying games, and motherfuckers don't give a fuck because they're saying it's a built-in cultural defect, and I'm not engaging in that. So now what's happening is black men are starting to regulate black women to just sex only, just like these other races of dudes do. And now they're only, see, at first it seems like they're being empowered because now they only fucking the dudes they want to fuck. But the truth be told is they're starting to figure out they're not getting kept. This is why I brought up K Michelle, because now you see all these women that can't keep a man. They go from K Michelle's age, I believe she's like 34, all the way to Keisha Cole, where Keisha Cole got to get a dude that's like 15, 20 years younger, because they got to go younger to control. So they're either in obviously dysfunctional relationships, or they wind up like Vivica and Lisa Ray, with just a trail of dead bodies, aka dead relationships, and now they're still bitter. It's very few of them are winding up like Jada. Very few of them are winding up like Gabrielle Union. If you look at those two situations, one light, one dark, what's the common denominator? I'm not even, look, I like Will Smith, so I'm not, but you know the rumors about Will Smith, and obviously Dwayne Wade, you know, it don't gotta be rumors for you to suspect what he's on.
I think the only reason Will did what he did was because of those rumors. I think that's the only reason he did that.
Me too.
All right, we about to go to Charles Faulkner. It's actually, I've seen Charles around in these spaces. This is my first time actually speaking to you. So what's up? Salute to you. My first time actually. Are you there? Oh yeah, there you go. He's unmuted. What's going on, Charles Faulkner in the building? What's up?
What's up?
Welcome. You got the mic. You got the floor.
I was listening to the program, and I tell people, I said, black men really don't understand strategy.
Right.
And it's not their fault, because you listen to your mama, don't go to the military, don't be a man, stay here where it's safe, and next thing you know, you're dying in the streets at an alarming rate anyway. The police don't even have to touch you. You're doing a better job than the police could ever do. The craziest part about it is, let's look at facts. A lot of men, even some men on the panel, the first time you thought about masculinity is, what did a woman say? So a lot of them did. A lot of us do. I mean, you got to look at facts, no matter how ugly they may be.
True.
You have to look at the situation which you're going through. Number one, Will Smith's a fucking genius, because guess what? If he wants to divorce his wife and you have it on film and audio that she had an affair.
Yeah, I've been saying that.
That's a fucking genius move, and forced her to say, it. Not an entanglement. What was it?
Right.
It was a relationship. Oh, he was gangster with that.
Facts.
See, that's the part that black men see. Black men really think like black women. They hate on black men without appreciating their fucking subtle genius. You got to go back into many of things when it comes to black women. Why are you so pissed? Why are you angry? You're never going to be white, no matter how many weaves you put on, no matter how many degrees you get.
Right.
I've told many women on my platform and other platforms, look, I even was on Sister George when she tried to, and I love Sister George, but I had to tell her, you speaking some bullshit about ugly privilege. Well, ugly people are discriminated against. So not everybody in the world is pretty. Get over it. It's called life.
Right.
I'm 5'10". I'm not 6'8". Okay? I'm happy about that. Well, I was a girl and I was discriminated because I wore uniforms. No. But yet, the boys you wanted didn't want you, but the boys who wanted you didn't want them. Oh, that's not discrimination?
Hello.
Well, I got MOT here. I'm about to share something that's probably going to trigger MOT, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Reg the bad guy, this is no diss to you. This got it as promotion of your poll here. Yeah. Y'all see the options.
Have like more polls than like fucking Rasmussen, man.
But do y'all see the options in that poll? I want to know your thoughts, MOT.
All right, okay. Are black men that travel overseas just for women are considered beta males? Any man that needs to travel overseas to get a woman is a beta male. Option 1. Option 2. Any man that spends money to see a woman overseas is a beta male. Option 3. Any man that traveled 1,000 miles to be with a woman is a beta male. Well, we had a person in the space travel 3,000 miles and he's not considered a beta male for some reason. Just thinking of traveling overseas for a woman is a beta male. I agree with 1 for 4. This is a very false poll, and let me tell you why. You could do all this stupid shit into the United States and you would not be considered a beta male.
Hello. That's what I was gonna say.
Like, come on.
I mean, that was too easy. Like, come on, I didn't even think that through.
It's like, look, I like Reg the bad guy.
Me too. Me too. I like Reg.
Me too.
Oh wait, I didn't mean to vote. Hold on.
Oh,
out of that.
Oh damn.
No, I was trying to move the screen. It's touch screen. Okay. It's touch screen. So I see. Oh shit. Right. See, y'all can see the percentages.
But if I was voting on this poll, Bernard, I would choose 1 through 4, but there will be a other explaining why I agree with other with 4. Because here's the thing. Women are not considered beta females because they get the shit that they get from men. But men are considered beta men when they go wherever they want to go to do whatever they want to do with their own dollar. Like,
but see, that's where once again you fucked up. How can a fucking woman tell you about masculinity?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or do they tell you shit that benefits them? Like, you're a beta male. How?
Right.
Like, please explain to me. Like, I've met people in war zones. How the fuck am I a beta male?
Right. And who do you go to find out the information to how not to be a beta male anymore?
You go back to older, more accomplished men. You got to realize black men have to cleanse the devil within themselves first.
True.
Because, that's an awakening. When you realize, okay, what do you consider a fucking alpha male? Oh, you want me? I had an ex-girlfriend who says she likes alpha men. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't even know what an alpha man is if it bit you in the ass 3 times in a row.
Hey, Mr. Chain Vicious, thank you for your super chat, but I had to delete it. Come on now. We not the purpose of this wasn't to attack Reg, it was just attacking the idea that so many people think that about men who just travel. Well, it's a weird thing that I don't understand. And I'm somebody who haven't got out there and traveled like that, but I just don't understand the pushback. I still don't get it.
But that's how you know it's all manipulation and misdirection, because they're like they can go anywhere and they're not considered that. Anything we do that's counter to them, that it's negative. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure out what this is. Manipulation. That's all the shit is.
Okay.
I don't know. I just think there's something just very sexually questionable about men policing what other men do with their penis. I don't get it, man. I mean, how
that's
can
the single mother training
focus about where and how some other guy is getting it in? I mean, this is some very
mama taught him that
very female-minded shit.
I mean, it's like your boy Bad Men in the chat, the Madman in the chat. Oh, it was on record that they weren't together. Were they still fucking married? That doesn't give you a license to fuck anybody else. So it was a well played. See, motherfuckers, I've always said this. Do your beliefs outweigh your reality? No, it will not. And that's why I tell men never say the word believe. Because it's not realistic. It's not man. And you get a lot of these dudes who still got this feminine ideology, because guess what? Women weren't the only ones to believe the Disney bullshit. if you slay the dragon and do this and be a nice guy and get a degree, you'll get the best possible woman. The next thing you know, she's fucking a dude who's the pool boy. She's fucking a dude out there slinging dope. And you want
the failed R&B singer.
Yeah, right. And I'm gonna tell you what. I'm glad you said that because Jada's a case study, and she's from my city, Baltimore. And I'm looking at her like, okay, if August was this great guy, and that's what I'm gonna do. When I start my live stream, you know, I don't mean to like, you know, promote my shit on your shit.
Oh no, go ahead. You good. You good.
You know, when I promote my live stream today, I'm gonna ask the question: why do you bitches always gotta fix something? Like, who the fuck are you, Roto-Rooter? Like, what the fuck are you, a handyman? You
can't
always
leave well enough alone.
You gotta fix broken motherfuckers, but when you have a well-off motherfucker, it just ain't right.
Facts. Well, who was that? I think there was there was a stream. I think it was yesterday, a day before yesterday, where they showed her mother admitting to having been a dope fiend for about 2 decades, and so and the thesis of the stream was that this whole fixing thing was a product of her, you know, and particularly the drug thing, fixing maybe a drug addict or someone struggling with their drug and their health is a product of what she witnessed and what she had to deal with her mom.
A lot of that's part of the insecurity. Like women are so insecure and they won't address that. And as long as you address it, you can never remedy it. But they're so insecure. They need to be needed. That's why when you see they get a man that has everything, they enjoy the benefits that comes with a man having everything, but then they feel some type of way because he has everything. I had a chick tell me one time, I don't like you. We in a party, bunch of chicks, bunch of brothers, and I'm like, why? She said, because you don't need nothing from no woman. And I laughed at first, but then I had to analyze that. I'm like, I didn't really get it. It kind of threw me off, and then I analyzed it, and I said, God damn. They want to be, they need to be, that's why you'll have the Jada and August, whatever that boy's last name is. This is not an uncommon practice. There's always the good man who's doing everything. And then there's some broken dude. And then the fact nobody's even looking at the fact that Jada's a whole goddamn predator. That man has went through a lot of emotional issues and nobody wants to say it. She played on that. And then justified it by talking about she was helping him. You didn't do nothing but make it worse. If I'm not mistaken, isn't August the one who blew the whistle on the situation? Isn't he the one who came out and told everything?
But you got to remember, when it's like I say about the police department, when shit makes sense, that's when you need to leave.
Facts.
because you got to realize this. The modern woman, I can't just put black woman under this shit. It's modern women that fucking wear. Let's just tell the fucking truth and thank the devil. The modern woman is a motherfucker. And you're like, Officer Faulkner, what do you mean by that? The modern woman has the fucking audacity to complain about shit and hasn't done shit to first. Oh, we're so discriminated against. We need to be protected. Megan Thee Stallion, did you pick that short little angry man? Mm-hmm. Bitch, it's not my fault that he fucking Harlem Nights your ass. Okay? It's not my fault. You chose to
shot me in my pinky toe.
You know, you chose to be with a fucking. It's like when I go to a call. Well, I didn't mean. Why are you locking me up? You chose to steal something. You chose to assault somebody. So I gotta do what I gotta do. Well, that's not fair, nigga. Life ain't fair. It's like, think about it. She shows how much of a hoe she is. You got a $300 million man. And it's never good enough. It's all about noticing you. I needed to feel good. Bitch, right. 300 million don't make you feel good.
Right.
I
tell the women all day. I say it's not always about you. You got to tell women this all the time. It's not always about you. Like I'm like, what about we? What about us? Sometimes me. But it can't always be about you. You selfish, opportunistic, narcissistic sociopath.
And most of the times I say this. It should seldomly be about you.
Right.
It's like this. So people tell. I've said this last night. What's the most powerful piece on the chessboard?
Uh-oh. The pawn.
The queen, right?
Everybody says the queen. It's the king. Because if the king dies, game over. So
game over.
The only reason you can walk around freely with the queen is because the king gives you the protection to do so.
I've never heard of a queendom. I've never heard of a queendom. I've heard of a kingdom. I've never heard of a queendom.
When did you ever hear a queen marrying a man and he becomes the king?
Right.
I heard of a lot of kings marrying a scallywag on the street and she becomes the queen.
Right.
You know why you never have a queendom? Because any kingdom is created by a king.
Goddamn right.
The general in the building. General, what's going on?
General Q, what up, General?
Bro, what's happening? What's up, boy? Long time no hear from. Hey, look,
you
man,
know it, Q.
What's up,
What's
Q?
up, brother Faulkner? What's up, brothers? Yeah, but now you got some powerful brothers up here, man. They put it down. Hey, listen, here's my 2 cents on this bullshit, man. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know how it go because it's what y'all up here talking about the whole scenario. Okay, this is the society that we live in, right? And I'm sorry to say it. And I tried not to fucking, let a lot of stuff that is being said influence how I think, but I know better because of my age and my wisdom, and I've been around and I've traveled and I've seen some things and done some shit. We live in a society today where Black women, and particularly women, women and particularly Black women, this is what they want. They want brothers to do 85% of the heavy lifting. 85% of the heavy lifting. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes.
I work too, so you should come in and help me. Okay, got it. All right, well, I gave you kids. No, you didn't. You gave us kids, not you. No, that ain't how it works. Okay, here's what happens. They want you to go out and work 16, 18 hours a day so that they can sit at home in the nice, posh place, home that you're providing for them, so they can put their feet up in the couch that you bought for them, so that they can sit and pat the fucking weave that you paid for, so that they can saw on the fingernails and shit that you paid for, so they can talk on the cell phone that you pay for, and don't even want to so much as go out and use that motherfucking $1,700 wash and dryer you got for her ass. She don't even want to get up and go in there and clean up that goddamn California King bed that you bought and put in that motherfucker. Won't even make it up. Won't even wash the bed clothes. Won't even go in there and use that goddamn $1,300 smooth top range oven to cook you a fucking meal. Got the nerve to sit there and run her mouth on the phone all goddamn day and complain about the fact that she fucking works too.
You bucket my bitch.
It does not work like that. It doesn't work like that. You want equality. And see, this is the problem. And I know you guys are touching on it. And I agree with you. This is the problem. They want all of the fucking amenities. They want you to fucking bow down. They want you to fucking put them on this pedestal. But what are they doing? I asked the question of almost 9 months ago. What is it? Listen to me, brothers. What is it in today's society that the modern Black woman is or is not doing to get Black men to even think of offering the proposal of marriage or going into a long-term relationship? What is it?
Hello.
What is it, gentlemen?
All right, good shit, General. Anybody can take that one real quick. But Black Wolf Inc., thanks for the super chat. He says, make Sister George join the panel or she loses her range. You goddamn. No. She's welcome. She's welcome.
Oh,
she's welcome if she want to come up.
You got rich in the first place. That's the rules of your channel.
What you say?
The problem. Oh.
No, the content creator. That's why she got a wrench on the channel. Like, I don't think people understand how wrenches kind of work.
Yeah, I'm giving her content creator respect, provided that she behave herself. Because I normally give her a wrench. As soon as I give her a wrench, she go to cutting up, and then I have to take it. So she's been behaving herself fairly decent. But she always get a wrench on a trial period. So she's doing good so far. She's doing good so far.
Hey, Bernard, let me just say you handle your shit correctly, bro. Let me just salute you, bro. You're very diplomatic, and in a situation with a lot of personalities, you do have to be diplomatic. So salute to you, bro. Salute. I
try.
Yeah. You do, bro. You do a good job, bro. You do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Anybody? Go ahead.
I want to add one more thing. I want to add this because I think that when that question gets asked, people want to look back and say, "What are you bringing to the table?" You ask a Black woman that, and I've heard it be said in particular spaces. I am the table. What the fuck?
Yes, please.
How are you the fucking table?
Bitch, please. Listen. How is the person begging the goddamn prize? How is the begging motherfucker at the table? I need somebody. That's how you know it's manipulation. The beggar has convinced you she's the prize. Get the fuck out of here.
Do you want the Charles Faulkner version, or do you want the Officer Faulkner version to answer that?
Let's go.
I want the hardest version. I want the hardest version.
So you want to go to nigga Charles? Okay.
Yeah, that's the Charles I like. Yeah,
deep freezer version.
Okay.
I get a freezer version.
Because a bitch is delusional. How the fuck are you the prize? Like I've asked a chick one time when I used to date her in the department. I'm gonna make more money if I get accepted to a college. I said, chick, the only reason I'm not making $250,000 back in Iraq doing fucking contract security is because I have a son who lives with me. You will never make, as long as I got breath in my lungs, piss in my veins, ice water in my blood, you will never make more money than me because I wouldn't allow you to. To really break it down about being the prize, you must be a goal worth attaining, like a championship. When you're a champion, are you considered a champion forever? Even in the UFC, even if you lose the title, they still have to call you the former heavyweight champion of the world. So you still carry that prestige. When you go to these narcissistic chicks, what prestige do I get? I'm in better shape than you. I look younger than you. I have less children than you. I make more money than you. I can produce more economic financial stimulus than you. I literally could walk out of the street and cause people not to fucking fuck with you and fear you because of threat of me. How are you the prize? When you're getting all this notoriety, you're getting all this protection, you're getting all this financial wealth because of me. See, the problem is,
they know that.
And the problem is this. A motherfucker need to be on some American shit back in 2001. We don't negotiate with terrorists. Here's the surrender orders. If you don't like them, you can leave out the door. I've dated fine motherfuckers and said, fuck you, I'm out. See, when the time you become a true, fully realized man is when you can resist pussy. I'm not saying
facts, Charles.
I'm not saying you going gay or homo. No, when you like, you know what? The juice ain't worth the squeeze. Bye, bitch. They got Me Too. I'm starting a new organization, so get out of here, bitch. It's just like this. If you have a business and a chick is around you, get out of here, bitch. We ain't got 2 or 3 people to witness. No. And the facts are self-evident that you're not the prize because you're the booby prize, if that, because I'm getting less out of you than what I'm putting in. What the fuck is it? You're overweight. You're a curmudgeon.
That's always a bad deal. That's always a bad deal.
If I can, Charles.
Oh, go ahead.
If I can caveat off that real quick, I got a little bit of some inside information for you right here at the illustrious Fort Hood, Texas. Okay, you all know about the soldier that was murdered, and the soldier that killed himself, right? So there's a big thing now about the sexual assault and all of that stuff, right? So now, female soldiers across the spectrum, up and down the ranks, from colonel all the way down to the lowest private, are complaining that men are shunning them, that male soldiers are not interacting with them because for the fear of reprisal. Oh, here's the latest. Males, soldiers that work in offices and that work in various MOSs with work in various jobs that are co-female, right? They're simply staying away from them. They're not even asking them out on dates. I'm single. They're not asking them out on dates. They're not even talking to them. They're not even looking at them. They're not even don't even want to work with them or nothing.
Delusion is dangerous. Delusion is dangerous.
Real time. This is what's happening. So I say that to go back to, you ask for equality. You ask for this. Whether you ask for it directly as a female, your predecessors asked for it.
Yeah.
Through the women's liberation movement. So now you have to bear the burden and the brunt of that because you got it now. Men are wising up and they're giving you exactly what you want. You want to be treated equal. This is what you get.
Yeah, but the general, like, this is the problem that women don't understand, that men can actually now upgrade as fast as women do within the environment, and they can't handle it. Like
competition.
They actually need a pool of usable idiots in order for their actual system to work unabashed.
Right.
So once men realize that that's the case, they don't understand why they're paying for the sins of the mother. They're actually paying for the sins of the mother and the grandmother. But at the end of the day, like, what they notice as normal is what their parents have told them is normal. So what they're realizing right now is the pushback. And right now, like 20, 25 years from now, it's gonna be a way different.
Yeah. See, I gotta change that a little bit.
Go ahead.
Because women do not rise as fast as men.
They don't.
They really don't.
They can only maintain the current environment. They can't create a new one. They
can't tame it either.
Yeah.
Right. Like, give me one civilization that women created. And Themyscira is fictional.
I ask that every time. Where was it? When did it exist? How did it sustain itself?
You know, what like here's my shit. Anytime throughout history, and you know, like reading Rainbow, you ain't got to take my word for it. Just research it. Oh, that's a word that a lot of motherfuckers don't do. I'm sorry. Bad Charles. Research the shit. Anytime the women start to be in charge, that's when that civilization was doomed.
Hello.
You know, I recently, my younger daughter, somewhat, unfortunately, is somewhat feministic. She attended an art school, smart girl, she's productive, whatever, but she has some feminist leanings that I would rather she not have. Well, recently we were having this argument about feminism, all this type of stuff. So I took her outside and I said, you know, see this road here? This was done by a man. See that light pole? You see that Volkswagen car that you drive?
Hello.
You know, the bank that loaned you the money to buy that car? This condo you're living in. All of this was built by men. All of this was financed by men, was designed by men. The excavation prior to even putting this building here was done by men. And I kept pointing to I think I pointed to like about 40 different things. Mm-hmm. And I said, so now you show me how are women equal to men? Never. In the tangible world in which everything you see was designed, created, planned, built, and in some cases destroyed by men. And she couldn't answer the question. Well, women participate, do stuff too. They do. They assist, and when they're at their best, they're usually doing what some man already told them to do, and how he told them to do it.
What they do best is consume.
Basically, that's pretty much their whole purpose. I don't really see too much else going on now but consumption and materialism. That's it.
Think about it. You go down the street, you see the average black woman, and I'm talking about 4s, 5s, or 6s, way too damn much. Scared to look natural. I mean, 3 things you can't ask a black woman. What's a good black man? How old are you? And can I see your natural hair?
Self-reflection questions. They can't handle that shit.
Hello. They hate all self-reflection questions.
Yeah, they do. And what makes it crazy is like, oh, how many times have you been around and you're like, wow, why do you do such backward shit? Like, why are you screaming at your man thinking that's gonna make him stay? Wow, because he ain't no good and all you men are no good. Who died and made you the judge of all black men?
Right. You just got here.
I mean, really, just because you got the face you have a black man doesn't know you got the.
Oh,
It's not even
Charles
good
classic
pussy
roaster.
paradox.
Charles
I didn't
classic
even-
roaster.
It's not even good pussy paradox. Like, come on.
Trust me, you never heard my classic roasted boy. Good God.
Shit, I heard. Listen, I heard Sin G, Charles Faulkner, and Sin G Part 1 and Part 2. Classics.
You talking about cybernetic Jade? Oh shit.
oh man.
Hold on, man. No, don't get off topic. Don't get off topic. My bad.
Black women
Jalen Roddy, thank you for the Jalen Roddy, thank you for the super chat. He says feminists can only benefit off men's bad decisions. Black Wolf Inc. came through with another one. Thank you, I appreciate that. Ooh, help me out with this word. What is that word?
Feminist.
Huh?
Themyscira.
That's
Themyscira.
Themyscira was made by a man, William
Wilson.
Marston. What is that?
That is the person Wonder Woman resides with the island full of women that apparently works very well. That is shielded from the eyes of everybody else on the planet to like cover up the dysfunction that actually goes on the actual planet.
Yeah.
MOT, you a motherfucker, MOT. Perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah, it's funny.
Perfect analogy.
The mascara is like fictional. It was made by Dr. William Walton. It's fake. So the guy, it is so funny because the guy who made the golden lasso of truth also invented the lie detector. Didn't know that.
Damn.
Information man in the building. He said, "Peace to you, brother Bernard and panel. Salute and shout out to Information man."
Salute to Info man. Hey brothers, let me ask y'all this. Let me throw a spin
this question out there, David Monroe. I gotta wrap it up. I gotta be some.
All right, keep not Monroe Johnson. Johnson. This is David Johnson.
Johnson. What did I say, Monroe? I'm calling y'all the same.
You keep mixing my motherfucking name up, but no.
I know I can't. I'm working on it, man. David Johnson. My bad. But yeah, go ahead. We gotta get out of here at 12:30. So go ahead and put.
All right, I'm gonna do this. And Bernard, do you mind if I put my channel in the chat? I'm finna start doing content. The Most High done told me I gotta start doing content. I don't want to deal with you niggas, but he on my ass, so I gotta do it. So do you mind if I put my channel in the chat?
Go ahead and drop it.
All right. Here's my question. Though. Women talk about marriage all the time. We know marriage is down. We all know because men, we're smart. We got the game now. But do you notice nobody ever talks about the concept of dowries? And we know, and I'm not gonna go all into that. We'll get into that real quick. Because we understand the concept of a dowry means you have to have some type of order, because that's why if you notice they talk in marriages, but they never talk dowries, because a dowry was basically the proof of this woman has been taught how to deal with the man. And by that, like what Uru was saying about time, I always say time is your most precious commodity. You're paying that man, thanking him. Thank you for working all these bumps and bruises out for me so that her and I can build and I can live life stress-free. So you paid her father that dowry for him saving you that time and them headaches and that struggle. Notice no one even mentions dowries anymore. Go ahead, y'all got it. I'm gonna put my channel in the chat. Y'all got it. Go ahead.
Whoever want to take it.
Well, you have to understand that with dowries, what I think is a good concept, a man has to prove his productivity before he get access to the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And in that type of system, even though goats,
facts,
all that type of stuff produce other things down the line, that's what productivity does for a man in general. Like if he's productive, he can actually get with a feminine woman and actually be able to produce things down the line. So if you can't prove that you can't even bring basic pigs, horses, cows, or goats to the table up front, why on earth would they allow you to have access to their daughter if they want to continue their bloodline further than that? Dowry is perfect. I love that.
Okay, but a point of clarification, the dowry is actually paid from the bride's family to the groom and or his family, traditionally.
Right.
And that's because the groom is assuming essentially the burden, if you will, of another man's daughter. And so to allay the effects of that, the bride's family gives property resources to the groom and or the groom's family to lighten the load of now having to take on the burden of a woman.
Yeah, it's just that, listen, these things are in place and cultures work over time for a specific reason. Like the shit that we're trying to do here is very new, that no other culture has ever tried within their culture. Now, we can honestly say this stuff has really failed here. Mm-hmm. And other people have seen the failure. Like, people had the foresight to see the failure. Now you have a working example of failure to show people. And that's more important than the actual concept of actually talking about failure. You have a living example of it to show people.
That's fact. I heard BGS say something I was listening to. He was on a panel. I think I can't remember the girl, Nicole Ali or somebody. And Sister George was there. And he was he did a little black pill rant. And I heard it. I just picked up on it. And he was saying that if black women do not turn it around, right, by the next generation, which is the millennials and the last of the millennials and Generation Z, they're going to be hurt because brothers ain't fucking with them. Point blank and serious. They're not.
Yep. Well, fellas, we got to leave that right there. I'd like to thank everybody who came out, everybody who joined the panel. Peace and salute to all of y'all. Everybody who liked the stream, shared it, viewed it, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat. All of y'all, appreciate everybody for coming through, making this possible. And with that said, we are out of here. Peace, fellas.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
peace. I put my channel in the chat. Hopefully everybody